will have for you. But before that, I just really need to ask you, I know that you probably have a really hectic schedule. You always probably have a really hectic schedule. And yeah, and I mean, just look at you, you're really glowing right now.
Thank you.
It's not just the lights.
the lights.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's your love.
It's the love in the room. But really, I mean, long hours, being under these lights, all of that.
I believe that health, your skin is a reflection of health, and great skin should never be taken for granted.
Yeah.
And especially a great skincare routine should never be ignored. And the most important part of a great skincare routine is definitely moisturization. And I know it makes it difficult for me to have like a long drawn process,
Yeah.
but I make sure I make time for moisturization, and my go-to product is Deep Resto.
And I love how it's actually really tiny. I know, I'm sure it also comes in a
Because
bigger, this
it
thing.
can fit into my bag.
Yeah, because
When I
women,
don't find time, I make sure I have it in my bag, this and this, actually in my bag all the time, so I can apply it on the go.
so while you also have beautiful skin, there's a lot of people that we tend to admire as well and say, you know, oh God, even she has such lovely skin. Is there someone like that on your list?
For me, Hema Malini is the ultimate
Ah.
beautiful woman who I cannot stop looking at whenever I see her.
Yeah, she's so iconic and so
Yeah.
timeless.
Skin, I don't know how it glows all the time.
Eternal beauty. Makeup is a very important part, and I mean, if you look around the room, everyone, you know, has a little bit of makeup on, and that is something that we always have. And then you have the paparazzi for a person like you, who are also always around. But there's some days that they manage to kind of catch you off guard, right? Like you've suddenly gone somewhere.
I hope someday they have to be camera ready all the time. Really.
So, but then what do you do? How do you kind of make sure that you're camera ready all the time?
Yeah. Fortunately or unfortunately, because of my profession, I don't have a choice, especially nowadays, but to be camera ready.
Yeah.
And confidence actually comes from having great skin. So you can just walk out and go anywhere, even if you don't have a trace of makeup, and feel that I'm doing fine for the cameras, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that comes from a combination of things like having a good diet and exercising regularly,
Right.
moisturizing,
Yeah.
and most importantly, sleeping well and sleeping enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the key factors.
Are you one of those people that can just manage to take a nap anywhere just to make sure that you're getting in enough sleep?
No, I sleep early and I wake up early. I make sure I pack up early from my shoot.
Lucky. So while we've had this, you know, whole chat about our skin and moisturization, and we're also talking about things that we've been told, right? Or we're experiencing ourselves. But what I also want to do is I want to kind of extend the conversation to an expert as well and just really understand the kind of dynamics that do take place. Right now, you know, we've been all told, right, from a long time, moisturize, and moisturizing is very essential. And we know that as something. But what actually happens to our skin when we moisturize it, and what happens when you don't?
Right. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. And let me say what an honor it is to share a stage with Tabu, one of my absolute favorite actresses. And hello, all of you. I see a lot of familiar faces here as well. It's a very interesting question that you asked me because most people don't understand what moisturization actually means. I get a lot of people who talk to me thinking that you're adding something to the skin, so you actually pick up a product and you're putting something which is going to add something or enhance your skin. The simple truth is that the skin itself is more than 90% water, which is an equivalent for moisture. Now, if the skin is already 90% water, why do we need to put something on it is a very valid question. What happens all the time on the skin is like a sieve. We constantly gain things from outside and we lose things to the atmosphere. So right now I've been sitting here in this room for the last 1 hour in a temperature that is not most suitable for me because it's really cold. So what's happening in this weather is that the moisture from my skin is moving outward. So when I get up and go out from here, I'm definitely going to feel like my skin is drier, even though I have used a moisturizer in the morning. This is called as transepidermal water loss, where your skin is constantly losing moisture. Secondly, in our everyday lives, we are exposed to so many different elements, like we're out in the sun, there's pollution outside, there's a certain kind of diet that we eat which tends to strip moisture from the skin. Now, all of this needs to be replaced, and the moisture in our skin needs to be locked in. And that is the main function of a good moisturizer, something that gets into your skin, locks in your own beauty ingredient, which is actually just water which hydrates the skin, and therefore helps the skin to function much better. And the skin is not just a beauty organ. You know, we often look at it as saying it provides us glow, it provides us confidence, like Tabu said, to go out and face the world, because the first thing people notice about us is our skin. But the skin is also a very, very important functioning organ in the sense that it acts as a barrier. If we didn't have the skin when we went out, all our internal organs would be exposed all the time. So imagine what the poor heart and the kidney and the lungs would do if there was no skin covering it. And just like any barrier, like the wall we have or the ceiling, every barrier tends to develop cracks. And it is these cracks that a moisturizer actually seals, like cement in between the bricks on the wall. And the cement is constantly lost, which needs to be replenished by the moisturizer, to just explain it in as simple terms as possible.
But then what happens to someone like me who sometimes thinks like it's okay if I don't moisturize today, you know, I'm in a big hurry and it's theek hai, like it'll be that one thing. I'll probably be like, okay, I better put my kajal today before I leave the house, but maybe I can skip that. So what happens in a case like, do you ever do that? Does that ever happen? It's always there in your